Hey guys! On this video on Book for Thought, we are going to talk about this book, What They Didn't Teach You in Art School by Rosalind Davis and Annabel Tilley. And before we get into this book, I'm just going to let you guys know I did not go to art school. I'm so glad I let you guys know now. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about this book. So this book is quite helpful for artists in a business sense. And I'm sure any school, when you go into school, you always learn about theory, but then when you go out in the practical world, things are a whole lot different. It's not just about art, it's about business. It always comes down to business if you want to make those ka-ching-ka-chings. This book sort of helps you get you on your feet. It helps you prepare to be organized and professional. It brings up the fact that, preparing for your CV, business cards, websites, the whole shebang about business to kind of actively and at the same time passively promote yourself. You're on constant business mode. They also talk about different types of exhibitions, curating projects, etc. If you are starting up as an artist, then this book is good for you. It helps create good habits from the start, and I kind of honestly wish I had that because just something as simple as naming your files can help you be that much more organized. But if you were like me, they were Untitled 1, they were Untitled 2, they were Untitled Final, and Final, Real Final, version 2, stuff like that. So it was a really bad habit, and after years, and then only I found this book, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a pretty good idea. So yeah, here we are. So this book doesn't just see the artistic aspects, but it also makes sure you are properly established, such as registering for taxes if you want to be self-employed, which I found really impressive because, they even look at that direction. They want to make sure you're secure and safe business-wise. Downsides, well, this book can get a bit dry. It's very matter-of-factly, and, well, it was quite difficult for me to read in a consistent flow, often demotivated to pick it up again. It's about business. It's not the most interesting subject for me. But the pointers are helpful. The subjects they broach is not exactly in depth. It's quite shallow, summarizing it in a page or two, which can be beneficial to some as it goes straight to the point, or a disadvantage to some who would like more information. They tell you their opinions and a few pointers for you to consider whether to or not to, take that route. Like, for example, if you want to get a studio of your own, what are the pros, what are the cons, things to consider, and what is best for you. Basically, it's kind of like asking a person for advice, and then they'll tell you, oh, what are the pros, what are the cons, what do you think? You know yourself best, so I've given you the facts, here you go. So it's stuff like that. It actually works. I do like that they're just so snappy about it. They just go straight to the point, and yeah, there is hardly any filler in it. And however, some I am quite unfamiliar with the practice and wish they could elaborate more. Stuff like getting your own studio, get websites and stuff like that. It makes perfect sense, for a lay person. But then when you're talking about galleries, where do you even start? How do you even approach a gallery? What kind of galleries are there? And not too in depth. I do wish they could have elaborated more, but I do understand because it tries not only to cater to a mass audience, but also different countries. So some practices of galleries or art culture may not be the same as UK. Another downside for me was, I don't know, as artists, I was kind of taken aback at their choice of color palette for certain pages. Some, fortunately not all, but some pages are red with black fonts. It takes me back to going to the optician and getting my eyes checked, whether they're in focus or do I have astigmatism. It was difficult to read visually for those pages. As much as I appreciated that this book was by artists, I can't quite appreciate the photos of the artworks that was in the book. It felt very modern art. That's how I would put it. It looked very modern art, and it kind of takes me out of it. But that's just my opinion. I mean, if you like the art, then of course that's your taste. All in all, I feel that this book is pretty good. If you just came out of art school, or you just newly entered the art world with no business sense, then this book can be good for you. Not only for some business pointers, but good habits to start with. Like for me, I don't know. It was obvious from a business point of view that if you have an email, you should have your little signature at the bottom. I have it for my day job, but I don't know why for some reason in art, I did not have it in my art email. Why? I don't know. But ever since I read this book, like, yeah, okay, why didn't it click? Alias, you're so dumb. However, if you are good with business and you know how to apply that to the art world, then good for you. I really don't think this book will be of much help. And that's all for this book. I hope you find it helpful. I am currently reading another book, but this time it is a tutorial. It's called Frame Inked, Drawing and Composition for Visual Storytellers. Very interesting, isn't it? It is by Marcos Matu Mestre. I'm so sorry if I butchered that name. So this is actually my second time reading it. I actually bought this years ago and I read it, and I really liked it. It was very informative, and I thought maybe I could share it with you guys. So I'm just kind of brushing up on what he actually said in the book, which is a very nice refresher for me as well. And I also get to kind of remember what makes his book so awesome, and thought I could share it with you guys. So if you want to check that out, you can hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that notification bell to get notified on when my next book for thoughts video comes out. Really appreciate the like as well as the share. It will really help me and my channel out. I like to thank my patrons over at Patreon. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are awesome to support me month after month, doing what I love. Really appreciate it. And if any of you guys want to be a supporter as well, you can head over to Patreon. You can support me from $1 a month. Link is in the description. That's all for today, guys. Peace. See you guys in the next video. Bye.